Hello everyone, my name is Joe Rimelspach and I'm part of the OSU turf pathology team. Todd Hicks usually does these turf tips, but he is out today, so I'm covering for him. Several things I'd like to talk about. The first is I know many people are enjoying the cooler temperatures, which are wonderful. Rainfall has been spotty and variable throughout the state. Many people know what's going to recover at this time, and so you can make plans to do your renovation this fall. If you're still dry, you still may not have a good handle on that. And I'm sure many of you are already making plans on what you have to do to get things back in shape going into winter. But I'd like to just touch base on 3 diseases today. Seedling diseases, dollar spot, and nematodes. The first one on seedling, as we talked about and mentioned, doing renovation. If you're doing seeding work and if we experience hot and wet conditions, you really want to make sure you have a damping off Pythium fungicide on your new seedlings. Once they become mature, you've mowed them several times, they're much more resistant to these. But during that critical germination period, very juvenile state, if we get into hot, wet periods, you might want to consider putting down a fungicide to protect it. Dollar spot wise, this week with cooler temperatures, we've had several reports of flecking starting, especially on tees and fairways. If we have cool temperatures, long wet periods in the morning, that's ideal for the fungus to infect leaf tissue. So if you have any money left over from the long grueling summer for fungicides or whatever your strategy is for managing this disease, you want to be alert for it and put down the appropriate materials at this time. Finally then on nematodes, I just want to mention this because we've gotten a number of samples in here late this summer with high numbers, high nematode counts. On turf, nematodes primarily feed on the root system and cause root damage. These high numbers are not really unexpected when you really think of what nematodes need to reproduce. They like warm, continual warm periods in the soil profile. So with this year being a very hot summer, starting very early, populations build up. In many cases, I feel the mild winter never knocked down the populations, and then last year was so hot that populations were high. So in many cases, you know, we're kind of simulating temperatures that we'd have in the southern part of the state where nematodes are a huge problem. So if you are interested in having samples run or have questions, contact us. We have information on the website on how to send samples in. Also, as you know, unfortunately, we have no registered products, nematicides at this time for Ohio that are being sold. There's old products out there, great nematicides. If you can find them, just use them according to the label. Otherwise, we're going to have to do the best we can manipulating the turf to grow healthy turf, good roots, and recovery. And hopefully this winter we'll get a good hard freeze. The ground will freeze down to a foot deep or whatever, and we'll kill these little guys and get back to normal. As far as OSU update, I just want to mention a couple things quickly. Next week, OSU converts 2 semesters, and so students will be back, and I'll be back in the classroom next week teaching. So that'll be kind of a new experience for Ohio State's academic community. Also, I'd like to thank many of you that attended the field day last week. It was a great event. We had good support. It went off well. We had a lot of fun, and you might want to consider the first Wednesday next year to attend field day next year. After the OSU field day and OTF field day on Wednesday, we had the Ohio Lawn Care field day on Thursday. And the reason I want to mention that is one of our vendors unfortunately had a severe heart attack, and 5 men stepped up and literally saved his life. These 5 guys were not experts in CPR, but they were coached over the 911 people, and they literally saved this individual's life. So I'd like to thank them personally. Also, I'd encourage you, if you have not had CPR training and you're managing a staff of people, you work around people, that's something you might want to consider this winter to include in your winter events, training, etc. So with that, have a great week and enjoy the cooler temperatures, and hopefully Todd will be back next week. Take care.